Hi there, Lindy Goodall here. In this video, we're going to be making these little cute in the hoop treat holders for Easter. And here I have a little bunny, and you can see that he's got some eggs in there, jelly beans, and he has a snap closure on the back. So that's how he holds together. And we have a little duck, a little chick, and of course we have to have a chocolate egg. And the egg is a little bit bigger. This one's going to require a larger hoop. The other three will fit in a 4x4 hoop, but this one is going to require a larger hoop. And you can fit more goodies in this one. And you can do your egg colored. And of course you can do your bunnies in a lot of other different colors too. And here we have one in a little basket. Now, if this bunny kind of looks familiar to you, it's because he is a remake of this little bunny. And this little bunny is from the Easy in the Hoop Stuffies. And you can see this is a 4x4, and these other ones are 5x7. So here's another little project that you can work up pretty quickly. We have a little girl, a little boy, and who knows what that one is. If you want something bigger, a little more ambitious, we also have these in the Hoop Bunnies, and they come in all different sizes. And this one, this little bitty one can be done in a 4x4 hoop. And here's the bigger brother, and I think there are 4 or 5 in this set, and they also have carrots. And hey, you might even have a Easter koala, who knows? So these little guys are easy to make. They work very similar to the heart-shaped one that I did in a previous video. A little bit different, but pretty much the same, and we'll be remaking that in this video. So let's switch to the overhead camera and see what we're going to need. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to print out your worksheet, and it has some basic instructions and what colors go where. You'll also have some patterns, and these are for the back flaps, and you'll have some instructions. Now, once you go through the instructions or watch this video, you probably won't need these anymore. You can just follow the short steps that are included on your worksheet. So the supplies you're going to need are some stabilizer. I'm using Tear Easy. This is a lightweight crisp tearaway. It doesn't support a lot of stitches. It tears away cleanly on a low stitch count design like this. So it works pretty well for this. Also, I've tested these designs with felt. Some of the designs are going to be too dense for vinyl, but you can try them and see what happens. And you know, if you have the right software, you can change the density so it's not too dense on vinyl. You will need a piece of clear vinyl for the window. And the instructions tell you what size that needs to be. And I've already cut my 2 back pieces. So this is the bottom, and then this is the top. So you can see how that goes on the back here. And on this one, I've just stuck in loose jelly beans. This one, I didn't put the snap on, and I've got loose jelly beans in there, but you can't put a lot in there. So what you might want to do in that case is put your jelly beans in a little plastic bag and insert those in there. Or use pre-wrapped candy. So I've got my stabilizer all hooped, and I'm ready to sew the first color. And I've chosen these colors. The bunny colors are pretty flexible, so you can change your colors based on your felt fabric or what colors you like. So pretty much, you know, black and white for his eyes and some pink for the ears, and the nose and the feet are separate. So on the gray bunny, I didn't show you the gray bunny, I've used gray for his nose and his feet. So you can use different colors on the bunny parts. Doesn't make any difference. The only part that shows on the back is the last color change. So if you want your color to match here, then you're going to want to insert a matching bobbin like I did on the brown one in the last color change. So I'm going to get out a matching bobbin here. I'll just put that out there. And if you're going to use snaps, I like the cam snaps. And this is a set of cam snaps, just the regular kind and the setter. And I like a little glue stick because the felt can tear easily. And especially on this brown is a light craft felt rather than the more sturdy craft felt. And it's not as good to work with because it's not going to hold up as well. So if you're only going to use these at Easter, it might work well. And what I've done here is I've just cut some little circles out of regular cutaway. and I'll just glue that on the back with my glue stick. And if we look in there, you can kind of see it sticking out around the edge there. So I'm ready to sew my first color. Did I cover everything? Oh, we need scissors, don't we? So I have heavy scissors for cutting around the outside. I'm going to need to trim away some bits during the process, like the vinyl. I like these double curve kind. And thread snips. You can choose either one of these. I like these for cutting out the circle in the middle when you see the clear vinyl. So I found that those work real well for cutting out this without cutting through my vinyl. I believe now we're ready to go to the machine and start sewing our first color change. Okay, now we need to trim away the vinyl around here. And I'm ready to place my front fabric. Now I've put little notches in here, and all I've done is I've just folded it in half and then just cut a little notch in the corner. And I'm going to use those to line up with the marks on my hoop. And we'll just add a couple pieces of tape. I don't recommend using spray on this because if you get spray over that vinyl, it's not going to come off. So this color has attached the front fabric to the stabilizer. Now we're going to sew the rest of the design up to the last color. Okay, the front of our bunny is done, and we're ready to add the back piece. So I'm going to take this out of the hoop, and I'm also going to change my bobbin at this time so that I have a brown bobbin in the back. And I'll change my top thread so it's all ready to sew. And we're ready to add our back piece. So we have some little divots here, little notches that I've marked on the design. And they're just little marks on the placement guides that show me where I need to place my back pieces. And I'm just going to extend them out so they're easier to see. And the bottom one goes on first, and the top of the bottom one aligns with the top line. Just like that. And the curved part is the bottom, and we want to match the straight part with the edges of the bottom line, or the bottom of this line. And we'll put a few pieces of tape on there. I'm going to flip it over, press it down that way, and we'll just put it back in the machine, and we're ready to sew the last color, which will stitch the back to the front. And you know what? I forgot to do one thing. We need to take out this stabilizer now because it's real hard to tear it out once you have this back sewn on. So I'm going to take these little scissors and just make a little slice there. And once I get it started, then it's easy to tear around. And this is why I like Tear Easy, because it perforates so easily like that. So that's out of the way, and we'll stick these back on like so. Flip it over, Press it down. And now we're ready to sew that last color. Okay, so here's our finished design. We're ready to remove the tearaway and finish trimming it out. So I'll turn it over, and you can see, here are my back pieces. And you can see I've got matching bobbin thread. And I don't know if you can see this, but if you cut your pieces according to the instructions in the pattern, you can also use the front piece as a guide for placing. So if I kind of maybe hold it up, you can see that the pieces match each other. We'll take it out of the hoop. And I'm going to remove the tearaway. And you want to remove it right up next to the stitching. This is what I like about the Tear Easy, is it does tear easily with a low stitch count design like this. There's that. And we do need to trim out the jumps between the toes, and usually I do that when it's still in the hoop, but we can still do it now. If you have a commercial machine that recognizes inserted trim commands, you probably won't have this. But these are too short for my Dream Machine to recognize as stitches to trim. And I think while I have these in hand, I'm going to trim out the center part. And you got to make sure that you don't cut your vinyl. And what you want to do is just cut around there, and you can cut as closely as you like. Just make it nice and neat. There you can see our little window. And now I'm going to trim around the outside edge. And I'll use my heavier scissors for that. There we go, he's all cut out. And he has a little flap on the back. And we can insert our candy in there. And if you wanted to, you could put a snap down here. So let's do that. I'm going to mark my placement here. I'm going to move it up just a little bit so we have a little bit of a pouchy thing going on the back. And I have two little pieces of cutaway that I've already cut out in sort of a circle. I'll take my glue and put a dot of glue on there and stick it to the back. This felt is a lightweight craft felt, and if you can find the color you want in a sturdier level, I would suggest doing that. So now we need to cut a hole. I'm just using a leather punch here. Oh no, this doesn't look like it's punching really well right now. There we go. That one went. These are cam snaps. Here we have our snap on the back. And he's all done. Now I can see a little bit of white from my cutaway back there, so I'm going to trim that out. I'm going to do that off camera, but you can see how quick and easy these are to make. And you can just then stuff them with your candy. Now with the snap on there, you can get more candy in there. And we can just put some in. Or if you want to have them in a little baggie, you can put them in the little baggie. And he's all ready to put in an Easter basket. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please let me know what you want to see next.